Hello friends, you've come across a special edition Ledpencil video. On this occasion, I bring you a race from the week that brought us Group 4 cars at Deep Forest Raceway. I don't think I could describe to you what a frustrating night this was. But to help you convey this message to you, watch this for the next few moments. Probably a pen? Yeah. Whatever car, whatever track. Ah, where? I didn't see it. I didn't see where that happened. Gotta keep it in. That was close. No, I was on the white and red. I was totally on the whites and reds. Give me a break. Anything else that I might have missed? The beginning of this race has been crazy. No hay espacio. Put him in the wall. Thanks, Jason. Oh no, I put myself in the wall. No way. Well, I bet that scared them a whole bunch. Oh, I cannot believe I just did that. Oh my goodness, again. What was exceptionally frustrating about this was that from looking from the outside, I had a great qualifying time, great race pace. I was even doing good at the hairpin, which gives so many people trouble. On paper, I should have been getting top fives all day, and it just wasn't happening. That night, I had planned to stop at 11 p.m., but I decided to do the next race in hopes that I would get a better finish. Guess what? It didn't go so well. So then I did the 11:30 race. Same type of results. Something would happen in each race, whether it was my own mistake, someone else's, or a combination of both. So midnight is kind of my ultimate deadline. Honestly, I gotta stop by then. Responsibilities call the next day. But I decided to be a little reckless and give it one more go. And honestly, I'm glad I did. So for this race, I got to start pole, actually, and luckily there were only Lambos around me in the front of the grid, because those GTRs, the Subis, they get a huge launch from the standing start. In classic Ledpencil form, I start the race with the wrong view for the stream. Maybe one day I'll get good at this. So as we get going here, let's take a good look at the friends around me. G. Ramos, who is the first person to actually really reach out to me through PSN and include me in a really large PSN group chat. He is a really fast driver. Israel, Cyrus, Nikki, Honcho, plus coming from farther back, Midwest Elite. Really a bunch of really quick A+ drivers that I typically have a really tough time keeping up with. As you can see, already their presence has caused me to make an unforced error, and I get this penalty. But I'm not the only one, as Ramos also gets one, and then another one later. I got one. It used to be not until you got on the green that you'd get a penalty, and now it's changed, and it really sucks. Ugh. Oh, we got a 1.5 second now. Whoa. All right. Time to serve the penalties. Azrael takes advantage of this and then goes on by. At this point, it is really early in the race, and all I want to do is just put in quick laps, work together. I really have no intention of passing him right now, and I'll only do it if he makes a serious mistake. I don't want to pass you, Azrael. I want to push you. At this stage of the week, the Lambo was the quickest at this track. That would change later on in the week as the update would make some significant physics changes to the Group 4 class. But at this point, its ability to turn in, the little tendency to slide, its acceleration out of the corners, it was unmatched in its prowess. And how it handled the middle sector of this track is really what set it apart from the rest of the field. It can oversteer a lot under heavy braking, so getting used to braking about 25-30% or less into corners is really critical to getting this car around the track quickly. Sure does. When are you going to learn? I do not want to pass you yet. I want to work with you, bud. I want to be friends. You got it 1 second. Okay. He ends up with this 1 second penalty, and I'm still not quite sure where he got it, even after watching this multiple times. Perhaps the server doesn't show him where he really is. I'm not sure. With that, we pass him, and everyone except Cyrus Nicky, the NRL victor, goes into the pit. Yep, I just subbed to him, Phil. Got that taken care of. I could have jumped into the pits at lap 7, but I decided to go one more lap and enjoy the clean air for a while. Lap 8 really seemed for me to be the latest I could pit and not have a big drop off in performance. You can see the tire wear here, and it's still above 50%, which seems to be the mark for where there is a significant drop off. We get the new shoes on, and it's all about seeing if we maintained our lead or not. We do end up in front, but only by a very narrow margin. Ancho has moved up the grid very nicely. At this point, I definitely feel the pressure, but not too bad yet. 5 laps to go, and it kind of does seem like twice that amount, honestly. Feels like a long time before the end of this race is going to come. Ancho kept getting these really nice exits out of the corners, and he was catching me a little bit each time. I don't know this Mike Ancho guy, but he just got a very nice exit. 50 Burgle, oh my! Thank you guys. By the end of the 10th lap, the whole group has caught up. I'd like to say I was handling the pressure well, but it eventually got to me towards the end of lap 11. That's close. Yeah. Sometimes when you get a pen, you just feel like giving up. But in this scenario, it was late enough in the race that I committed to defending and trying to hold my position, just hoping for the best. As close as we still are after this penalty, it feels like a good outcome is still possible. All 5 of us are really vying for the same spot, P1. Oh, and Cyrus Nicky's right there too. I didn't see him. With all this closeness here, there is a little contact on the right turn. This opens up a little space on the right side here, and I squeeze my car right in there, gaining me 1 spot. Then on the left turn before the long straight, there is a little contact between Ramos and Honcho, giving me a window on the outside, which I take full advantage of. Honcho defends early, so I stay on the outside, and then have enough speed to almost pass him completely. Folks are all jockeying for position as this turn will set up the final push for the finish line, with all 5 of us in play for the victory. That was the race of my life. Oh my goodness gracious, that just happened, folks. That might be the best race I've ever had. I am shaking. Hi there, Sir Lancer Racing. Welcome. Sorry, I'm a little bit in shock right now. Oh my goodness. That looked epic from 5th. Oh my goodness. Oh. Bros. My friends. That happened. I cannot believe I pulled that off. After all that, let's look at how all this took place. I take a narrow line on purpose here to defend, but Azrael taps me just a bit and I end up going a little deep. Ancho takes advantage and takes the lead, albeit with a bunch of oversteer. Really, as this downhill begins, I'm too close to Honcho to take full advantage of the slipstream. I take a little look to the left, which he defends. Then the only good option then is to swing just a little bit to the right before the uphill, just so I don't scrub too much speed off with understeer and try to take the advantage that way. That might be exactly what happens to Honcho as he keeps to the left really tightly. This might have cost him a little bit of top-end speed. In the end, I'm taking the win by just 12 one-thousandths of a second. Could this be the best race I have ever had? Yeah, I actually think it could. But let me explain why. It is probably the best performance with the best possible outcome, first place. And what makes it more so for me is that I beat the most A-plus drivers in one field of cars that I ever have. Normally if I win a race, typically there's maybe 1, 2, maybe at maximum 3 A-plus drivers that I'm overtaking and beating. Not so in this case. This one had so many other really fast drivers. Because of how the race ended, with a victory, with such a slim margin, tack onto that the tough competition, the long race, pitting at the right time, everything just went perfectly. Honestly, yeah, I have no trouble saying it. It's the best race I've been a part of, and it's the best performance I've ever had in a single race. What this is showing me is I still have a long way to go in my own personal journey through sport mode, but I am seeing some clear improvement, and it's honestly pretty thrilling. And that will do it for this special edition Ledpencil video. Please give this video a like, and if you aren't a subscriber yet, please become one, as we are on the road to 1,000 subs by summertime. And that way you can stay up to date on all the live streams, videos, and shorts that we put out on a regular basis. Later, my friends.